respected dignitaries on the dais, and all the representatives from various education institutions across the country, and participants. I see some of the parents, some students. So very good afternoon. So first of all, let me congratulate TV9 and other consortia for organizing this Education Expo, because in today's world, parents and students are confused, because most of the time the children are influenced by the peer pressure. So always driven by a particular choice. So what it means, so in a family, let us say you have two children, they interact with parents, then extended family members, but whatever the dreams parents miss, it is a general tendency that they will put to the children. So they should tell, they will tell, you should study this particular branch, you should become so and so engineer, you should become so and so. And in our society, it is very rare that children can withstand that pressure and then put their choices. So that's a typical scenario. So to circumvent that, we have to educate children, but before we educate our children, according to me, we should educate parents more. So therefore, I am sure this particular expo, the target is to educate parents and children at one platform. So I just now glanced. So within a 60-70 organizations, you have a lot of diversity. So each institute, the course names could be same, but they are trying to bring something unique to the table. So they are trying to explain what is unique about their institution, particular program. So if parents and children come to this kind of expo, so they will be able to better understand. So education is one thing which is rapidly changing. So today everybody talks about particular disciplines. So the first and foremost everybody is talking about 10 years back people used to talk about data analytics, data sciences. Now people are talking about artificial intelligence, and then the new is quantum computing. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, parents do not understand much unless they are really educated. So they might be connecting artificial intelligence with only computer science, but unfortunately that is a myth. So that's not true. So today you take a hospital management, so you generate large data. So how do you optimize in a hospital management system? So that the data should be used in AI tool, and then you come with some recommendations to the management. So is the case. Today you take weather forecasting, one of the most complicated problems, weather forecasting. So how do you forecast? You should know the knowledge about the models used, then collect data, then only AI comes into picture. So we should educate to the parents this particular part. Do not neglect the core engineering, core fields. You can use AI as a tool. So you should excel in your core, whatever the core field. So this is very, very important. So this kind of expo will certainly help. And another thing which we should educate to children and parents is, do not always behind the job and placement. So this is one thing always, because at IIT Kharagpur when I was, my all along first year, when the admission season, parents used to call, no, like from this place, some known friends contacts. So I always used to tell, I don't want to talk to you. Please give the phone to student. I want to understand what the student feels about it. So parents' first question is, what is the package? If my child gets admitted into this, what is the package? What is the placement scenario? Yes, it is a natural question. I am not blaming the parent. It is very natural question. But that is not the end of it. Because with various startups coming up, past 10 years onwards, this trend has gone up. A very established company, they have a fixed package, so they will go with that model. But a startup, same work they have to deliver maybe in 1/3 of the time which a normal company delivers. So then what the startup will do? Naturally they will escalate the salary and they have to get it done. So these kind of things, it's a lot of other intricacies are there. So these things are not known to the parents. So as a result, they are always behind the package. And also there are some core engineering companies, the stability and growth in the long term is very much more compared to the immediate digits. So these things parents do not know. So therefore, it is our duty to educate what exactly, what is the purpose of your education, and you should drive them towards career planning. So it's not the job, it's a complete career planning. So you may say, what is the difference between job and career planning? So there is a big difference. Okay. So for example, at Andhra University, after I joined, we have an active training and placement center. But what we did, we have started a career planning development center where we want to integrate typical internship placement and skill development and innovation. So these should be integrated. You cannot have them separately, like a student is interested just to prepare for a placement and get through. So you are get through with a placement, you are into a company, but you are not able to handle various other pressures. So then you will not be successful. So you should have other skills as well, which are peripheral to your domain. So what we did, we have a lot of skill development centers and also innovation hubs. We brought all these into one template, and then we want to serve to the student based on your interest. You should touch each one of those. Okay. So you should, including our today's slogan of our Honorable Chief Minister is one entrepreneur, one house. So you are talking about placements, you are talking about skilling. Skilling while studying is the new slogan. So don't postpone. You can't say, I will study now and then I will do some skill courses later on. So that's not the current model. The current model is, while you are studying, you should also have some skill courses. Then you should develop some nuances of entrepreneurship. So you should know what is entrepreneurship, what are the difficulties, so how people venture into. So you never know, your child might be very talented in these kind of things. If you are limiting your child, you should only study and get a placement, then maybe the talent hidden in the child might be suppressed. So these are very important things. Today, the way education is rapidly changing, there is a little bit of confusion among children, and they are carried away with a notion that I can learn at any time. So I can learn at any time because we have a lot of electronic platforms. So teacher may not be important. So let me postpone my learning. So I will just go to the class if I am interested, otherwise I do not go to the class. I will study before the exams. This kind of tendency is also, in particular post-COVID, we have been talking actually. post-COVID this tendency is there. So I would like to caution parents. So this does not work with every child. The postponed learning does not work with every child. You should learn while you are in the class delivered by the teacher. So that is the best practice. So then you can supplement with various other things. So therefore my submission to parents is, you should keep even your child is a BTech, etc. You should have a check, because I have seen at IITs so many students coming up with the bright institutions, but they have difficulties, various difficulties. So whether they are attending classes, they are really focusing on the core learning through the classroom lectures. That is very, very important. And another thing, there is a difference between our education systems. So in Germany, if you see what happens in Germany after primary school, the secondary school is divided into several tracks. So what are these tracks? So one is called gymnasium, another is Hochschule, that means vocational. So these tracks are well defined. Suppose a student decides, no, my capabilities are this, I will aspire for jobs in officers type jobs, where in public banks, etc. So I study this particular track. No, I am more interested in going for higher studies, that means up to the university. So then you pick up that particular track of secondary school, from there you go to the university. And there is something dual system is also there. So in the dual system, theory as well as practice. So that means straight away they spend 1 year in industry, then they learn theory. So this combo is also there. So as a result, what is happening, only those who are interested in that particular track, they are only coming. But here in our system, what is happening, since parents are under peer pressure, students are under the pressure of the parents. So we are telling you should study this, and hence student is not getting enough time to think what is my capability. So where I am really interested in, so that there is no sufficient time for the student. And also take our society, suppose a student declares, no, I want to take a break of 1 year and then do something else and then come, then it will be a chaos in the house. It will be, parents will be upset. What is this decision you are taking? How I will tell to my friend? Okay. So this kind of inhibitions, this kind of status coming into picture. So we have to come out of those clutches. If student tells with sufficient thought, student tells, I want to take 1 year break, explore something else, then decide my interest, we should respect. So those kind of things we have to inculcate. I am sure this kind of expos will help a cross-cultural exchange. So for example, in my 15 minutes interaction, I learnt a lot. Some universities telling same program, they have something unique. Some same program, some other universities telling something unique. So students should learn what is unique in this program, what is my interest. So whether I can take a break or I can think for a while and take conscious decisions. So this is very important. Parents are more tempted to always promote, tell that this is a rank, or my child is getting 99% or something like that. So that is another thing which we have to come out. This is my advice. Okay, having spent so many years in the education system. So we used to have a small quote, marks do not measure your intellectual treasure. So that's a quote we used to tell when we were studying masters. So what does it mean? Like it won't tell, correlations are very difficult. Okay, so maybe there is a strong correlation, but not always. So you cannot measure In a particular field, you may be in 99%, but when you are on the job, so what is? So typically, my experience with the Career Development Center, campus placements at IIT Kharagpur, tells that students are not able to tell to the company executives what exactly they are working, what problem they are working. So always the executives are conscious about this. We don't want student to know very advanced things, etc. They should tell fundamentals and currently what they are doing. So these are the skills which are required. So how do you? So it does not require extraordinary language skills. It requires presentation. So what you are doing is different, what you are presenting is different. So these, so you have to be very smart in that short span. What you are presenting matters. So therefore, parents should give some leverage to the children that how do you make your career path molded, and then what is the, so these kind of flexibility you should give it to children. So I am sure this kind of expo which is organized by TV9 is very unique and bringing so many universities, education organizations together with the diversity in it. So I appeal parents should visit and make use of this opportunity, interact with each education institute so that the child will get what is there, and you gain knowledge so that you can educate within the society nearby children. So I am very happy that just recently we celebrated our centenary, and with that we have also taken some initiatives. Andhra University is now, we have a strong AI program, and for the first time probably in a state funded university, this year only we started a BTech quantum computing program. So while we are going, we have developed skill development centers in chemistry and in pharma. So also industry 4.0 laboratories are coming. So you cannot ignore one discipline. So as a university we are doing the same thing. Parents should also keep a caution in mind and educate the children that you cannot force particular one thing. So that's the thing. So I am once again happy that I am taking part in this and learnt a lot within this short span of my presence here. So thanks to the TV9 management for initiating this and other co-partners and inviting me. I am sure this will help the society in a greater extent. Thank you once again. Thank you. Jai Hind.